Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Of course, I don't think it would be right if this channel, of whom is known since at least 2017, it would not be right that we not report, even though I'm not an entertainment channel and I really don't cover things like this, but because of how I have promoted uh, this group, especially Terry Ellis, this group EnVogue, from left to right, we have Cindy Herron, Don Robinson, Terry Ellis, and Maxine Jones, the original Funky Divas of Soul, EnVogue. Breaking news. Well, it seems as though Cindy Herron has filed divorce from her husband, Glenn Braggs. They've been married for at least 29 years. Cindy Herron has filed for divorce after 29 years of marriage. 4 children, 29 years of marriage. And the reason has been reported as irreconcilable. I can't say that to save my life. Irreconcilable differences. In other words, none of your damn business for real. There's no reason. Most times, when people divorce like this, they have a cordial divorce. And there is of course, split of assets and things of this nature. And a lot of times people can be friends after divorce. This, of course, also is very sad, especially being part of the soul community, a black community. We have a very low marriage percentage. All over YouTube, they complain and talk about single mothers. And maybe that's because the father will not marry the mother. You can't make nobody marry you. These people are so silly. And our relationships is questionable, but that's a whole different topic. Even though I will speak a little bit on what I think about this divorce of Cindy Herron Braggs. Oh, wow. I'm going to tell you, I'm not shocked about it. Even going way back to 2014. I'm not shocked about it. I believe it was 2014, 2016, something like that. I saw an interview. I'm going to try to look it up. I saw an interview. No, wait a minute. It had to be 2018, something like that. It was early, 2018, I believe. EnVogue was on a radio show with an ex-female rapper called Heather B. You can probably find this interview on YouTube. EnVogue and Heather B. I believe that's the name of the rapper, Heather B. And they would talk, yes, it had to be around late 2017, 2018, because they were getting ready or working on their new album called Electric Cafe. And they were talking about Electric Cafe. One of the first singles that was released from Electric Cafe was a piece called Deja Vu. I don't like this part of the interview. Actually, it came later in the interview after Cindy Herron talked. But they were explaining where Deja Vu came from. And Terry was talking about how she met this guy she went on this date and it was like deja vu. The date was so great. I don't even want to talk and discuss that. I don't want to relive that. That was part of the conversation that I wanted to go mute. I didn't want to hear Terry talk about some other guy and how she enjoyed. Oh, I talked to him for so long and it was deja vu, like we always known each other. Well, see, this is the thing. That's how it is in new relationships. They always start. People put out their best. It always start off beautiful and loving and happy, happy, happy. Joy, joy, joy. It always start off that way. Now, during this interview, Heather B was asking Cindy, how did she meet her husband? You know, she's married. How did you meet your husband? And Cindy began to explain how she met her husband. And you can watch the interview yourself. You can tell something is wrong. Cindy was telling the story like she wasn't really happy. Yeah, well, I met him and blah, blah, blah. I was introduced by his manager. He's a baseball player and blah. You know, when you like somebody, like if myself and Terry Ellis was married for years, I should still have that energy. I should still have that vigor. Oh man, I met Terry. Like if I tell you about when I met Terry at the EnVogue concert, man, that was groovy. I was so tired. I'm gonna tell you, I was so tired out of my mind. I really couldn't even enjoy the moment because I had drove the truck all week, and then I had to drive another 300 miles to go see them, and I really didn't have adequate rest. But when I tell that story, I tell it with, I'm Terry. I love me some Terry. But when Cindy talked about her marriage and how she met Glenn Braggs, it was like, yeah, I met him and blah, blah. That's how it go. I've been married 29 years. I knew something was wrong. And quite frankly, it's sad to be married for so long, but it's not unusual. First of all, Cindy, Herron, Terry, Rona, they love what they do. So these ladies are on the road all the time. Just like me, I was driving a truck. I'm on the road all the time. I don't have time to babysit some girlfriend at home. You have these needy people. It's a possibility that Glenn Braggs, her husband, thought he could handle that type of relationship. Cindy being gone weeks and weeks at a time. And then the children start coming. People will stay together, especially if they have a religious mind. I'm married. I'm having these children. I want my children to grow up in this husband, family, goody, with the picket fence type of environment. But something was telling me, especially after that interview, and to my knowledge, all of Cindy's children are adults now. Once these children become adults, that marriage is going to start breaking down. Some people stay in marriages and they will say it. I heard Beyonce say it with Jay-Z. I'm in this marriage for the sake of the children. Because they want this. They want this picture, even though they are miserable. And see, Cindy can handle her dysfunctional marriage for a long time because she's not even there. She really don't even have to deal with this guy. And so she can hang for a long time. I really don't have to deal with him. Come home, give him some cootie cat, go back on the road, that type of thing. You don't have to be in love to be married for years and years and years. That's a reality that's a reality of married life. You have single people or people that never get married. Look how long Oprah Winfrey been with Stedman Graham. They've never been married. They've never been married. but something about marriage, the fact that you're married to this person. And there's a possibility that um, Mr. Glenn wasn't getting enough putty tat, and he probably stepped out or whatever. Cindy might talk about it or whatever. See, we look. We know how men are. We know how we condition in this society. Women step out also, but we do know how men are conditioned. Jay-Z, Minister Louis Farrakhan, and people. We don't have no kind of discipline. We tell these women, "Oh, I love you. You're the only one." Next thing you know, you done stepped out on them. So we really don't know. We really don't know what's going on with the marriage. But I do know that people will stay in these dysfunctional marriages for the sake of the children. But like I told you, I sort of felt after listening to that interview as though something was wrong. Because when you heard Terry talk about her rendezvous with this guy going on a date, there was a big difference between Terry's story and how Terry told the story. Oh, I don't even want to talk about that. I don't want to even be reminded of it. But there was a difference between how Terry told her story and how Cindy told her story, or how Rona told her story. You know, Rona is like, I don't have nobody. You know, you know how it is when, you know, how it is when you're single and looking. But it's very sad. But it's just a fact of life. 29 years is a long time, especially if you was miserable. And there are many marriages. People keep talking about the two-parent household. There are many people who are in marriages for the sake of the children, or because of money, or because of ding-a-ling. You know, I want easy access to some putty tat, easy access to some ding-a-ling. There's many reasons why people stay together. It's not just because you see people together don't mean they happy. Happy, happy, joy, joy. Folks know how to put on a front. Again, listen to that 2018 interview, Heather B. with it was a radio broadcast. It's on YouTube. And listen to how Cindy talked about when she met Glenn Braggs. You could tell something was wrong. These women, you have to be a special kind of person, a very disciplined person, to be in a relationship with Cindy and Terry and entertainers who like to go and do what they do. Truck drivers, people you have these needy people. You have these men who are needy. I believe Cindy have a handicapped son also, special needs. And she has to be a mother, and she's gone. She has to give attention to her children. And this man's like, what about me? What about me? You have men that just need that cuddling. They need that thing too. So that's just my take on this divorce. It's sad. A lot of men are just needy. You knew this woman, what she did for a living. But as time goes on, folks, like I said, folks think they can handle that. And we don't know what the details are, but I just would like to let Cindy and family know. You know, I hope that, they can hope them the best.